this prayer. Today is a very special day. It's 2/22. Years ago, I got baptized into a crazy way of God speaking to me. 2/22. I remember going down. I was going down, I don't know, to San Diego. I was seeing the numbers 2222, 222, everywhere I would turn. Prophetic weirdo. And I get in the car, and the clock comes on 2:22, and I said, "Look, kids, there's the number." And they all start laughing at Dad. You weirdo, Dad. I get down into San Diego, and they give me the key to the hotel. 2:22. The Lord began to speak to me as Isaiah 22:22. I'm going to remove Shebna. And I'm going to release the sons of inheritance, Eliakim, and they will shoulder the key of their father David. They would shoulder the key to the house of David, and what they opened, no one would shut. A most profound kind of experience took place. I remember, and I just did it today, there's a gate right here. Can you hang with me for a few more minutes? There's a place called Devil's Gate Dam right here in Pasadena. We looked at a 1947 Star News article. They said it was named after the semblance of his satanic majesty. I had a dream one morning here, and in the dream, and I'll call you back, Chris. Chris always disappears, but he's the prophet behind the whole deal. But anyway, I wake up with an audible voice in a dream, and it says this: "Go pour the salt of your purity on it." Why don't we just hold on the instruments for a moment, because then we're going to go back. Just stay with me. And I have this dream, and it says, "Go pour the salt of your purity out on it." And I wake up, and I'm thinking, that must have been God, but what does that mean? The next morning, in our prayer meeting, I say to our prayer group, I said, nobody can pray anything unless they know it's God telling them to pray. Suddenly, a lady prays, Kateria Matilla. God, change the name of Devil's Gate Dam. And instantly, I knew what I was to do. It comes from 2 Kings 2:2 or 2:22. Bizarre. Where they came to Jericho, and the water was creating barrenness. And Elisha took a bowl, which is the company of the covenant, with salt of the covenant, and he poured it into the stream, and it created healing for the waters of Jericho. And the Lord spoke to me, take your team down there. I want you to pour salt in the stream at Devil's Gate, and ask God, change the name of Devil's Gate Dam area. So we went down there, we trespassed. We poured salt into the stream, and we said, God, change the name of Devil's Gate Dam, the early water source of Pasadena that flows right into Los Angeles. And I said, God, and let the rivers of revival flow down and release a fruitful valley. 2 years went by. One of our black intercessory ladies, Angela Blair, came to me. She said, Lou, I had a dream. In the dream, the Lord showed me, and I was asking the Lord, why haven't you changed the name of Devil's Gate? And in the dream, he said, the Lord showed me, the Lord said that he would change the name of Devil's Gate, and he would turn it into an Indian name. She tells me the dream. So I'm stunned a month later when I'm reading the Pasadena newsletter, and it says this: all agree that Devil's Gate is not the best name, but Haha Magna, which is the Indian name for flowing river and fruitful valley. When we poured salt into that stream, we were in one of the most terrible droughts in California history. 5 days later, the rains began to pour, and it so much rained, they called it the Miracle March. And we went on that dam, and the geysers of water that were exploding out of that dam was outrageous. Flowing river and fruitful valley. We believe that was a prophetic word. It's amazing. 7 years ago, on 222, in that valley, the Arroyo Seco, where the Rose Bowl is, we held the call. 30,000 gathered at the Rose Bowl. And we prayed and called on God. 222 is a covenant number. 2222. When I did the California prayer walk. And I'll tell more of that in the coming days. I was walking up, we were praying for the mission of California to be restored. I was coming up this one place, up into this hill with my friends. We were doing a 40-day prayer walk from San Diego to San Francisco. Came to this place, a Rosicrucian Center, which was with a huge pentagram on this hill overlooking the Vista Valley. And the names of the streets was Ecclesia. And there was a healing temple. It was New Age. And the Lord put a stirring in my spirit. God turned this place into a 24-hour house of prayer. Take what the devil had on the hill and put your hill on top of it. And I prayed that. 3 years later, I came back to that place. Across the canyon was a monastery, a Catholic monastery. I had intercessors on that side shouting, "Grace, grace," to us on the other side of the canyon, where the group of intercessors went down back onto this Rosicrucian Center, and we began to pray that God, He would remove Shebna and raise up the house of Judah, the house of worship, house of prayer. As I'm driving out, suddenly it's almost like God turns my head and my eyes are riveted on the address. And the address is 2222 Mission. And the fear of the Lord came upon me and said, I am going to remove Shebna, and I'm going to raise up those who can carry the responsibility of the keys. And what you open, no one will shut. And what you shut, no one will open. Covenant will open the door. I can tell you story after story of these 222s. I'll end there.